Let's see what this conversation's all about. What is up, Finn fans? Episode 1 of Tyreek Hill's podcast. It's called The Trade. So it's about 53 minutes and 51 seconds long. I'm not going to react to the entire thing. I'm going to watch it like this, but I'm going to edit out some things. Go check it out. Go check it out in its entirety. I will pause and let you guys know my thoughts about some of the things he says. But yeah, we're going to jump into this. A lot of you guys wanted me to do this. Some of you guys told me, give me a little spoiler of one of the things he talks about. I'm interested to hear what he has to say about that. But before we jump into that, I do have to shout out today's sponsor. And yes, Father's Day is coming up next Sunday. And Manscaped.com has a promo going on for Father's Day. You get a nice little bundle. You get the Lawnmower 4.0. Waterproof, cordless, has a light on it, skin safe technology. I use it on my chest, my back, my face. And you know your father's hairy. All fathers are hairy. So why don't you go out and get him one? Use the promo code DDW20. You get yourself 20% off and you get free shipping. Heck, you might be a father and you might think to yourself, Doug, I need it for myself. Use the promo code DDW20. You get the Lawnmower 4.0 and you get the Boxers 2.0. And they're very comfortable. So go out, and can't even speak, get yourself some, manscaped.com. So I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to play it. Let's see what all the hubbub is all about.
I got a question.
Thanks for the insight.
Kansas City Chiefs drafty, right?
Right.
You go over there, you ball out, right? How was your time in Kansas City? I definitely want both of you all to chime in on that because, Drew, I know you went to a lot of the games. I know, Tyreek, I came to some of the games, and I seen the transition. So how was your time in Kansas City?
You want the first 4 years or you want the last year I just played? Last year was crazy.
I want the first 4, and then on the last year,
okay,
it needs to be said.
Okay, I'm going to give you the first 4 years, real rap, man. First 4 years was great, man.
Right.
You know, I came in as a rookie, played with Alex Smith, one of the greatest guys that I will ever meet also, you know. Played under arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time, Andy Reid. You know, learned a lot under a lot of great guys. So my first 4 years were great, man. I got a chance to play with the greatest. I feel like the greatest tight end of all time, Travis Kelce. You know, Big Zeus. You know, so it was great, man. First 4 years was great. Then Patrick Mahomes came in and just changed everything around. You know, the young phenom, different, throwing the ball at about 85 yards, crazy. You know, so changed the game. Crazy, man. So it definitely helped the team out. We went to the 2 Super Bowls. We won 1. You know, just like Drew said, we went to, I believe, 3 AFC championships.
Right.
Or 4. You know, so it was great. It was great, man. Everything inside the building was great, you know, so now I have no complaints.
Now, I need you to be candid. I need honesty from you or Drew. Because if it was so great, what happened to last year? So now we sitting in Miami.
There's an oral care disparity in America. Kids in underserved.
I mean, Drew, you want to answer that first, or you want me to get into it? Because I got to kind of,
I got questions that need answers.
Yeah, let me answer it. So frankly, guys,
I want you to start with. Hold on, Drew. I want you to start with all the texts I sent after every week, though. Like every week, I used to text you. So I want you to start with that.
There was a lot of times during the year that we felt that Tyreek was underutilized and wasn't fully appreciated, and that they really weren't taking full advantage of all of his ability and talent. But Tyreek's a trooper. He never made a peep about it. He
never went to the media.
Was extremely professional, right. But
he didn't.
Tyreek was a real champion and handled it, but it was frustrating on many occasions. After a number of games, Tyreek and I would communicate, and it was frustrating that he wasn't given a chance to do more to help the team in their efforts to win games.
Right.
And Tyreek's a very unselfish player.
Correct.
And is the consummate team player. But there were a lot of things during this season that just felt like there wasn't the same commitment to him. And, we got through the year. Tyreek wound up having another all-pro year and made another historical season and had an epic postseason as well.
Mm-hmm.
And once the season was over, we reached out to the Chiefs and we said, "Hey, we want to keep it going." Tyreek wanted to be there. Tyreek wanted to be in Kansas City.
That's you say that again. Tyreek wanted to be in
Tyreek
KC.
wanted to be in Kansas City.
Wanted to be in
We
KC.
tried to do an extension with them.
Tried, man.
So I got a follow-up question on that. All right. So this wasn't a situation that you demanded a crazy amount.
Like he said, and I'm finding this very interesting, I had no idea, and I think a majority of the people had no idea that Tyreek Hill was on the trade market. I had no idea Tyreek Hill was an opportunity or an option until an hour before the Dolphins made the trade for him. And you know how I know that? Because no one was talking about it. No one was talking about where could Tyreek Hill land and who's a potential suitor for Tyreek, and that no one knew because he, like you said, he just kept it to himself.
Amount of money, right?
No,
this was a situation where you know what you're capable of. Drew knows what you're capable of.
Correct.
The team knows what you're capable of, but they just didn't utilize you. Now follow up on that.
Right.
Do you think this was a situation to suppress his stats, to drop that value down when it came to a potential trade or assignment?
So when the season ended, just to get to your question, we went to the team and we basically said, "Hey, Tyreek did a contract after his third year. He's outplayed that deal, but we were really far apart on the numbers. We felt strongly that Tyreek was the best receiver in football."
Right.
And deserved to get paid that way. They were very complimentary of Tyreek, but they were not prepared to make him the highest paid receiver in football.
Exactly. But Drew.
And then what happened was the Devontae Adams deal got done. And I called Tyreek and I said, "Look, here's a guy that is older than you, isn't as accomplished in my mind as you in terms of all the things that Tyreek can do with the football and away from the football, his ability to stretch defenses and get teams and open things up for Kelsey." And when Adams got the huge deal, I spoke to Tyreek and we both agreed that we were going to put the pressure on the Chiefs, that they were either going to do a deal like that or it wasn't a great fit anymore, because the respect isn't mutual if you don't see it that way. And I talked to Brett Veach, the team GM, and I outlined the deal that Adams got and that it should be a no-brainer for them to do that deal for us.
Right.
And if they didn't want to do that type of deal, then we would get them a blockbuster trade. I flat out told them that I felt like I could talk to teams around the league and bring great compensation. And
I'm going to talk about that because there are things that have been said about Hill coming to Miami. I'm going to talk about that. We'll get to that.
I think the Chiefs initially wanted to challenge us and see what we could get from other teams contractually and what we could also get.
Crazy, right? But we haven't even reached the crazy
compensation
part. We haven't even reached
right?
the crazy part yet. The crazy part. Hold on, Drew. Pause. I'm finna pause you. Crazy part is I talked to Patrick Mahomes. I talked to Andy Reid, right? For 30 minutes, for like 30 minutes or so.
Right.
I talked to both of them on the phone. I'm like, "Hey, coach, like, I don't even got to be the highest paid for real.
Right.
I just want to be put in like a realistic position that's like realistic for me and my family, right?
You want
I
to be
don't-
compensated for your talent.
Exactly. I don't got to get 30 million. I at least give me 25,
Right.
26.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't even giving
So,
numbers. Weren't
so
even close to
completely
that.
ignore the fact that you're taking 2 and 3 defenders across the field to make way
Completely.
for Kelsey to have these historical numbers.
Completely, man. It's crazy how the business works, man. But like I say, I tried my best. I talked to the big man, Andy Reid.
Right.
I talked to the quarterback. I'm like, look, can we make something happen?
Right.
Can we make something happen? Can the guarantee money make sense to me?
Right.
Can it make sense to my
Yeah,
family,
you know what
please?
was fascinating was we were really deep in trade talks with the Dolphins and the Jets,
Right.
and it looked like a deal was close. And then Andy Reid got involved and spoke with Tyreek and asked Tyreek flat out, "Do you want to be here?" And Tyreek said, "Yeah."
I flat out said
And
yes.
Tyreek flat out told
Flat
Reid,
out said yes, I
if
wanna
you
be
can- Tyreek, you really tried, you know, and I think Andy wanted you to be there. And, you know, ultimately the team's offer just was millions of dollars short on the guaranteed compensation. And that's just, you know, in this world, you cannot, Tyreek's got children. It's hard to walk away from millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
You know, quite frankly, Tyreek had a record-setting career. He'll go down as the all-time great Chiefs receiver. He had a great run there and did a lot for them. But obviously, they did not value him to the same extent that Miami and the Jets did. And when Miami offered and all those draft picks, I guess the Chiefs looked at it and said, you know, we had a great run with Tyreek, and we've got a lot of
Crazy,
high-priced
right?
players
Crazy
on the team.
business.
You know, and they got a record amount of compensation.
Right.
It's the most I've ever seen.
So look, check
given
this out.
To a team for a player.
So look, check this out. If they don't value you in like money wise, right?
Right.
But then like let's say I'm Brett Veach. Brett Veach was like, okay, we don't see you as $25 million receiver, but we're gonna try to get as many picks as we can up out of you. They literally try to get like how many picks they got, Drew? About 5 picks.
Yeah, they did get
crazy,
5.
which is crazy.
Yep, they got 3 this year.
They valued me more than Devontae Adams, but they didn't want to pay me like Devontae Adams though. Crazy,
They
right?
value your talent and your skill enough to get that from someone else, but not to actually give it to you for your talent.
Exactly, man. Crazy
that's
how the
backwards.
business is. It's backwards, right?
So
I said the same thing.
So let me ask you this: was there ever a situation throughout this last season where I know Drew stated earlier that you didn't feel like they game planned for you more, right?
Just to piggyback off of what Hill said right before he answers this question, a lot of times when a player signs a contract and there's a certain guaranteed money towards that contract and they outplay that contract and then they hold out for a new contract, a lot of times I hear fans saying, you sign the contract, honor the contract, play the contract. And I hear it a lot. But I always find it funny that if a player signs a contract and they don't play up to that contract, no one complains and no one says anything when they ask that player to take a pay cut. When they cut that player, nobody says anything about that. They only say something when they try to get their worth. And that's essentially what just happened with Tyreek Hill. Because he thought I was worth something. I think I'm better than Devontae Adams. I'm worth something. And the Kansas City Chiefs are like, yeah, you are. You're worth 5 draft picks, and we're going to try to get those 5 draft picks, but we're not going to pay you your worth. We're not going to pay you your worth. We're going to get your worth from somebody else. I find it interesting.
Make sure all the listeners know your decision was not based upon solely the $30 million.
No.
It was, of course, I got to take care of my family.
Got to take care of my
But
family.
it was more so the disrespect you felt throughout the negotiation process.
Was a lot of things that played into it was a lot of things that played into me leaving the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, like right before the season, I had a long talk with Andy Reid about my granddad having surgery,
Right.
which is crazy. And I told him, I'm like, Coach, look, it's gonna be some days that I'm gonna be missing. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta fly back to Georgia to make sure my granddad is all right. You know, my granddad, he had prostate cancer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that transpired. You know, with me leaving the Chiefs. You know, and they didn't even want me to leave to go see my granddad. You know, and he was having surgery, prostate surgery.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, like this is like ridiculous. Right. You know? And now like I'm with the Dolphins. I tell coach, like, coach, I'm gone. He's like, all right, coach. Go 2 things.
So this is not a shot at anybody. Let's be clear. This is not a shot at anybody, but this just needs to be said. Right?
I love Andy Reid.
Bingo.
I love Patrick Mahomes.
Bingo.
My brother forever. I just seen him at F1, by the way. Love Travis Kelce. I love all my teammates.
But you just had to answer the questions that all of the fans are asking. You know, some of the media pundits, they went out, oh, he's going to regret this trade. He did it for money. He did it for money. They work for money, so I don't see what the problem is.
I just don't
Every
understand.
day they go to the media, they go on the news, they work for money. Everybody going to go to work. You want to be paid.
I just want people to understand that I went for 150 with Matt Moore as my quarterback. I love you, Matt Moore. Versus the Minnesota Vikings. If you don't remember that game, 150 and 1 touchdown with Matt Moore as my quarterback. So and Tua.
So what you trying to say?
And Tua T is 10 Matt Moores. I love Matt Moore, but Tua T is 10 Matt Moores. Let's get technical right now, man.
I was gonna
Shout out to
jump
Matt
in
Moore,
and
by the
tell
way.
you guys that
Sure.
you know the trade made a lot of sense on a lot of levels because you really want to be a part of the organization that values you the most.
Exactly.
And, you know, Tyreek got basically the full guarantee on the first 3 years of his contract. That's very rare in the NFL, and the Dolphins were willing to make NFL history, and they wanted to build the franchise around Tyreek, and that's really exciting to go to a team that's in a beautiful city like Miami and South Florida, and you know it's a great place to live. It's close to Tyreek's family. We talked about Tyreek's love for his family, his children, and his parents and his grandparents. What a neat opportunity for him, you know, to geographically go to the South and play for a team that really wanted to make him the face of the franchise. And you know, that's not the case in Kansas City. You know, Mahomes is the face of the franchise, and in Miami, Tyreek's profile has picked up tremendously. You know, this trade, you know, we could have signed the same contract with the Chiefs, but there wouldn't be the same amount of notoriety and commitment.
But what's crazy is I don't care about notoriety, though. I don't care about none of that, man. I'm from South Georgia, dog. Only thing I care about is respect within the building. Notoriety outside the building, I don't care about none of that, man, because none of that ain't gonna win us games on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrick, Kelce, they can have all of that. They can have all of that. But look, this is what I want inside the building. I want the head coach to know that on Sundays that defenses fear Tyreek Hill. That's what I want the head coach to know. And the head coach do know that, though. He know that. He know that without the cheat on the field, he know that, hey, Pat, you gonna have a long day today. You know what I'm saying? Pat, he heck of a quarterback, hell of a player. I love him to death, but come on, man. Sometimes I just want people to just be like, hey, Tyreek, like him. You know what I'm saying? So
now let's switch gears, all right? You go from KC, cold. Now I know you love beach volleyball, so I know Miami is prime real estate for you, right?
Prime real estate. Man.
You in the 305.
Yep.
How has that transition been? I know the season hasn't started, but just that atmosphere of going from Kansas City to the 305.
It's been great, man. You know, believe this or not, I feel like the same values hold inside the locker room with the Miami Dolphins as far as like brotherhood. Mm-hmm. You know, coaches being close, players being close, and everything else. Tua's been a great quarterback to play with. You know, Jalen Waddle has been everything that everyone has said. Fast, explosive, great guy outside of playing football. So it's been fun, man. So, I mean, I'm very excited for the football season. I'm excited to see where this team will go, which I know this team will go very far because, man, I've had a chance to see Tua throw the ball to myself, but, man –
that's the next question.
Like he's that dude, bro. Like what a lot of people don't know. Like I'm not just sitting here just saying this because he's my quarterback now. And
You're not going to give us the T.O. tears, are you?
Nah,
That's
bro,
my quarterback.
Like,
we're not going to get that.
I'm not trying to get more targets right now, but what I'm trying to say is Tua is that deal, bro.
He has an arm.
He has a heck of an arm, bro. He's accurate. He can throw the deep ball, and he actually goes through his reads where people are like on Twitter, like saying, "Oh, he doesn't go through his reads." Man, this dude, that dude. So
do you think it's just a comparison issue? You know, the media pundits. We've seen a lot of people talking about Tyreek. He's going to regret this trade. He's going to a quarterback who doesn't have an arm. He's this. He's that.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
How do you deal with that? Like, that's your quarterback. I know you're not going to give us the T.O. tears, right? I know you're not. But how do you deal with that? I know that's your quarterback. You got to protect him.
Oh, yes. Man, look.
But I know you said he got an arm.
Right.
Who got the strongest arm? Tua or Pat Mahomes?
I wanted to pause. Again, I've not watched this, but I wanted to pause it before he answers the question. Diehard Dolphins fan. Been a Dolphin fan since '95. Think Tua can do something special. If you ask me this question, who has the stronger arm, Patrick Mahomes or Tua, the answer is Patrick Mahomes. You can ask the biggest Alabama Tua fan that's now a Dolphin fan, and they will say Patrick Mahomes. I'm very interested to see what Tyreek Hill has to say about this.
Tua or Patrick Mahomes? Obviously, like I'm gonna go with 1.5 as the strongest arm, but as far as
There you go.
accuracy wise, I'm going with Tua all day.
So which one would you rather have? The deep ball where you got to scramble around the field to try to go find it? Or do you want that accuracy to hit you right in the bread basket on the run?
I want it to hit me right in the bread basket, just like I did in the Buffalo Bills game, and take it 70. And the rest is history.
And again, this is not a shot at anybody.
Right.
This is just stuff that had to be said.
It needed to be said.
It needed
so
to be said because at the end of the day, everybody wants to know. The media, they killed Tua.
They killed him. They destroyed.
But you at practice with him.
Right.
You love the deep ball.
I love the deep ball. But guess what though? Guess what though? I done expanded my game.
Right.
So now I'm doing a lot more than just the deep ball now. I'm doing intermediate routes. I'm doing short routes. So now I actually need a guy who can just get me the ball now and on a dagger route, on a corner route, or on a shallow cross route. You know, right now, right in my chest. So now I can do the rest. I make you look good now.
So defense is about to get chopped up this season.
Defense is about to get chopped up.
They've been getting chopped up. They've been
getting chopped up, man. But look, once you got Mike McDaniel calling plays, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, you got Cheetah on this side, and you got Mike G right here on the tight end. Come on, man. Tua spinning the ball. Right. It don't get no better than that.
Those are little tidbits from Tyreek Hill's first episode of his podcast. Again, it's about a 53-minute episode. There's talks about his life. There's talks about Drew Rosenhaus and how he got into all that stuff. It's a very, very good first episode. But the tidbits I wanted to talk about and that I included involved his time with the Chiefs, his time with the Dolphins. Obviously, he's talking about Tua, talking about Waddle and Mike Gesicki, all that stuff. And I find it very interesting, some of the stuff he said. Now, like I said when I paused it, I wanted, is he going to be truthful? Because this is where you can find out. Is he just gassing up Tua by saying all these nice things, or is he going to be truthful? And he was. He said, obviously, Mahomes has the stronger arm, but he said when it comes to accuracy, he gives it to Tua. And I wouldn't say that's out of the realm of being like, oh, no, that's now he's really blowing smoke up Tua's butt, because that's Tua's biggest thing is his accuracy is like top notch, best in the NFL, his accuracy. And like you said, against Buffalo, that one big long touchdown where he threw up the peace sign, it's a crossing route. It was a very shallow route. Mahomes hit him, and he just took it the rest of the way. Like you said, that's what he looks for now. You know, those deep go routes and getting the ball there and doing his thing, that's nice and dandy, but you heard the routes that he was talking about running and all that stuff. Listening to him talk about the Dolphins gets me excited, but I also have to, like, tamper it down and kind of just talking about he listed the players and all, and I'm just like, just sat back and I was like, yeah, this offense could be dangerous. It could be real dangerous. But the biggest thing I wanted to talk about, and I said I was going to talk about it, and this time I actually remembered, because sometimes I say, oh, we'll talk about it later, and I completely forget. Compensation for Tyreek Hill, right? The New York Jets, because a lot of people want to say the only reason he went to Miami was for the money, and obviously he got a lot of money in Miami. The Jets were willing to give him the same contract. The Jets were also willing to give better draft picks. Now, the Dolphins gave 5 draft picks, but 3 of those draft picks are meh. It's what? 2 fourths and a fifth? They got a first, a second, 2 fourths, and a fifth. So they're not great, right? They're not spectacular draft picks, especially the 2 fourths and the fifth. Whereas the Jets had the number 10 and the number 35. That number 10 is worth 2 of the 5 that the Dolphins gave. Then the 35, you see, the Jets were willing to give more in value and also give him the contract, but he chose the Dolphins over the Jets. And from what I'm hearing, it's just he liked the talent that the Dolphins had on offense. He didn't say, oh, I went there for Tua, so I'm not going to. He didn't, and he didn't say that. But he liked the talent, from what I'm hearing, better in Miami. It's a good first episode. A lot has been said. I find it interesting him talking about he was underutilized last year with the Chiefs. I find it interesting the reason why he tried to stay with the Chiefs. He kept talking about staying with the Chiefs. He didn't want to leave the Chiefs. I find all that interesting. So if you haven't yet, go check out the full episode. It needs to be said with Tyreek Hill. But that's what I got for you. Yeah. This came out after I recorded the last day of OTAs, and I'm probably putting this out Saturday because as I'm recording this now, it is 1:17 a.m. on the East Coast, so I have to edit this and then upload it, so that this will probably be out tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday and Sunday. I will see you guys probably Monday or Tuesday with all the content galore. You guys have been throwing more content that you want me to do. If you have any reaction, like you had any videos you want me to react to, send them my way. And I'll react to those as well. Obviously football related and Miami Dolphins related. But like I said, I will see you guys in the next one. The usual, stay classy. Fins up.